And a quick little interlude. Yes, I am filming this in my wrestling ring. Godzilla might join the ESW ranks at some point, but that's not the plan. I'm just in the middle of a wrestling project right now, and I don't want to move it all because knowing me, I'd end up putting something in the wrong place and ruining the flow of the whole animation. Hello everyone, ESP here, and today is my first ever action figure review, and it is of course, as the title suggests, the Godzilla from the Godzilla vs. Biollante movie. This is a Neca figure, and I bought it new in package from eBay, so hopefully they didn't lie and I'm not going to open this and it's going to be empty, but we'll see. You see there's some nice art as always with the new Neca figures. A little bit of a blurb down there. It says, emerging from a fiery pit in Mount Mihara, Godzilla returns to wreak havoc once more. Drawn to Ashinoko Lake, the creature faces off against the hybrid monster created from the cells of a human, a rose, and even Godzilla. Will Godzilla's strength and power be enough to defeat the might and the ferocity of Biollante, or has Godzilla met its match? So you can see the pictures of the figure here look really awesome. I really hope that effect is included because that looks really cool. I saw Captain McKay do a review on this a while ago, and it's actually that kind of made me want this Godzilla figure in particular, because I'm not a huge collector of Godzilla figures. I love his movies. I've seen mostly all of them, but I don't collect a lot of the figures because they are a bit pricey for me. I'm not made of money, so I don't get the chance to buy a lot of the pricier figures, but I had to pick this one up. I don't remember much about that review though, but I do remember thinking it was an awesome figure. So, as with a lot of the newer Neca figures, it does have a little opening window here. You can have a look at the figure there, and yay, I do actually have the figure. It's a bit loose there, so I think it might have been open to take pictures for eBay, because usually they're kind of secured in package. But it looks in good condition, which is good. Nice art there again of the actual figure. Man, that looks awesome. So, let's open this up. So here are all the pieces that you get in the box. Assuming that this does have all the original parts that came with it when it was brand new, this is what you get. So you get the tail, which is separate to the Godzilla. I believe Neca does this with all the Godzilla figures in order to stop it from breaking, I would imagine. You get this little instruction, which tells you how to do it. You just dip it in water. Anyone who's customized an action figure would know how to do this anyway, but it's cool for the people that don't. And you do, thankfully, get the blast effect, which is awesome. I absolutely love the paint deco on this. Hopefully it focuses. Yep, there we go. The blue mixed with the white looks awesome. I cannot wait to use this. I don't know how it'll work in animation. It'll be great for posing, but in animation you're probably better to do a live effect that actually moves. But it's really cool for action figure photography, which I'm not really into, but I can see why this would really appeal to a lot of people. So, be back after I attach this to Godzilla and we'll have a better look at him. So here he is now that he's assembled, and I absolutely love him. I think the sculpt on him is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love the paint app. The tail is incredible as well. The only other Godzilla figure I've ever owned was, again, the Neca one. It was the Neca Godzilla King of the Monsters one, and I don't like that figure at all. I was very disappointed with it. Luckily I didn't pay as much as I did for this guy for it. Again, it was from eBay, so I hated it so much that I kind of thought maybe it's a knockoff, but I looked online and I couldn't really see anything pointing to that. But this is just an incredible improvement over that. If we get a better look at the face here. Now, I believe I remember Captain McKay saying that some reviewers have said it looks a bit too cat-like, but to me, this is exactly what it looked like in the movie. So I don't think that's a flaw of the figure. It might just be a flaw of the actual Godzilla design in that movie if you don't like it. But for me, I think it looks awesome. It's one of the best Godzilla designs in my opinion. He is a bit stiff in a lot of his joints, but that is quite often the case when things get sent through the mail here in Scotland. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but obviously very cold weather here in Scotland, and I think when plastic gets put through the mail, it just kind of tightens and stiffens, which makes sense. And I am reviewing this probably 10 minutes after it arrived, so he will still be very cold. But we are going to try and take a look at his articulation, and he's got a lot of it, which is awesome for a big guy like this, because he's a hefty boy. So the head has a neck swivel here. It also has an extra neck swivel down there, so you're going to get lots of movement out of that, which is incredible. Obviously the jaw articulates as well, and inside there, see if you can actually get a look at it. If I bring my light over, struggling to get it on camera, but there is actually a peg sort of hole when you open the mouth in the back there, and as you can see here, there's teeth marks as well, so you can slot the blast effect into the mouth, so you can do his atomic breath, and I think that looks pretty cool. Obviously do a better posing than I do. But back to the articulation. I think for a big guy like this, to be able to look up and down as much as he does, that's quite impressive. I wouldn't expect much more movement than that. He's got a diaphragm joint here, which can turn and also bend backwards and forwards a little. His arms do rotate. They're very stiff, but I actually prefer that on arms, because if you have him lifting something or anything, you don't want them flopping down. He's got a slight swivel and also a bend at the elbow. Then he has the same at his wrist, and he also has finger articulation that is of course flipped on both sides. Then down here, the legs come round and back a little bit, so you can kick forward, you can kick back very slightly. With chunkier legs like this, that's fine though. I don't think you'd be expecting him to do the splits or anything like that. His knees rotate slightly, I believe. I'm going to actually have to check that one. Yep, so his knees his knees rotate slightly, and they do bend also. They're very tough, as I say. That could just be mine though. They might just be a bit too cold, a bit too stiff. But they do work, and I don't want to force them too much just now, which is another reason I don't want to show you all this on camera. The feet also rotate. They have a slight pivot, which this one is doing just now, as you can see there. Very slight pivot, no ankle rocker. And they do move backwards and forwards slightly also. I'm not sure what kind of joint it is under there. It might be like a slight ball joint or something. But as I say, for Godzilla, I think that's absolutely fine articulation. You get a lot out of the upper body, so you can get your real expressions up here. And down there's just for very basic stuff. So here are those figures together. We have the Biollante one here, of course, and then the Godzilla King of the Monsters one. So I loved King of the Monsters. I thought it was a great movie, and that's why I rushed out to get my first Godzilla figure, because I wanted to start doing stop motions and everything with it. Then it arrived, and I thought, ooh, okay, that looks cool. It's got a really nice sculpt. They've done a lot of effort with the paint. And then that face. That goddamn face. Ugh. It is horrific. It's painted badly, it's sculpted to be tiny, the jaw barely moves, and when it does move, it pops out on the sides of his face. Man, that really, really disappointed me when that arrived. The tail as well. You do it the same way as this one. It arrives off the body, you apply some hot water and then you put it on. This one though, you try and pose it and pop, off it comes. It's so upsetting. It will not stay on. This one really does stay on. I've been very impressed. I'm sure if you stress it too much it will pop off, but it takes a lot more stress than this one does, that's for damn sure. This guy's also lighter, but it is a smaller figure, and I'm not sure which Godzilla is actually bigger in terms of the movie. I always thought the new American Godzilla was actually the biggest Godzilla we've had. I could be wrong there though. I'm going to have to look up some stats after this, but if that's the case, then the scale is very wrong here. But I'm okay with it, because I actually wanted this guy to be a bit bigger than this anyway. I wouldn't like it if it was smaller than him. The tail seems very accurate to the size of this one. Just going by the cover art alone, if I bring that back in, you can see how it comes all the way around and swoops around like that. It seems the perfect size to do something like that, so I think that's great. Just overall, I think this is a much, much better figure than this one. So this one can go away. So my closing thoughts on this guy if you're a Godzilla fan, even more so if you're a Godzilla vs. Biollante fan, you gotta pick this figure up. I think it's a fantastic figure. The blast effect, as you can see, with my minimal posing skills that I have, it already looks great. So if you have real skill with posing action figures, you could make this look absolutely phenomenal. Something I did notice while I was posing these is the Godzilla King of the Monsters is actually a little bit easier to pose. I don't know if that's because it's been sitting longer, it's not as cold. Smaller joints as well, easier to move possibly, I don't know. Certainly not enough to make it better than this guy. He's nowhere near the level of this guy. So, I don't know why it would be between these two for you, but if it is somehow, get this one. By a mile. So that'll do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this little review. I've never reviewed figures before, as I said at the start of this, so I'm kind of finding my feet. I'll see if I can actually find a better way to do it. Obviously, I would normally go through all the articulation, but with this guy being just fresh out of the mail, he's very stiff. It's kind of hard to pose him just now, but I did hopefully walk you through it okay, and I very much recommend him. If you're looking for opinions, you want to know if you should buy him, I would certainly say you should. He is incredible. Now I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna animate with him. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna animate something, some sort of little test, because I am really enjoying it. Bye bye.